Hi, I'm Rachel Disbury.
I'm Rebecca Ballanton.
And I'm Kim Crozier, and we're writers for The Phoenix.
On November 11th, we got the chance to interview two members of Starkid, who are the creators of a Harry Potter musical.
So we talked to Nick Lang, who co-wrote the script for a Harry Potter musical, and we also talked to Darren and Criss, who played Harry and wrote all of the music. We hope you enjoy the interview.
So can you just tell us a little bit about Starkid Potter and how it came to be?
Met a sorcerer by the name of, what was his name?
Dumbledore.
And I'm bad with names. And he told us to make really goofy things. And so we did. That's wrong.
No, that's a lie. So we met in college. Me and Matt are brothers. Matt's the guy who's a writer and he directed the show. And out of all of us, he's the biggest Harry Potter fan. He absolutely loves it. It changed his life. He read the books, and we all joked about them, and he was like, I think Draco has a crush on Hermione. And we were like, no way, he's a jerk. And he was like, no, he's so mean, he's gotta have a crush.
There's no way you can be that mean to anybody without fostering some kind of
because
crush.
that's what young boys do. They're mean. They're meanest to the girl that they like the most. But we made up an idea for a song called I Feel Like I'm in Danger of Falling in Love with Hermione Granger that would take place at the Yule Ball, and everyone sees Hermione and sings a song about how they love her. And then we were like, oh, that's funny. There should be a whole Harry Potter musical.
Can you describe the process of making a Harry Potter musical, and how did you make it 3 hours long?
Well, first we came up with the idea, and then we had to write. No, we didn't write the script until after the show was cast.
Yeah, the thing is, we're kind of bums with how we've done our shows, and the way we put them together is not ideal. They've worked out because we've been blessed with really talented people, with really talented actors and actresses, musicians. That most of our the writing process is probably the most put together thing where that will have been worked on for a long time. The ideas for the show have been created, and any show that we've done, over a course of years and months of just an amalgamation of a ton of jokes that have turned to a script. And so that'll be the most kind of hardworking thing where they will work on that for a period of time. But as far as the production, getting everything together is concerned, that will take 2 weeks. Harry Potter really went up in, I'd say...
Harry Potter was a weird process because, we had spent years making up jokes about it, and then we were going to write it, and Matt said he would do it in October of last year, so about a year ago, is when Matt put up a poster for Harry Potter the Musical. And then we were like, oh, way to go, man. Now we have to do it. Because
we cast it and said we were going to do it and had a date for it before we had a script or songs.
Yeah, before we had a script or songs. Yeah. Matt had the auditions without having the script.
Without a script. No songs.
We had the idea for the script, and we had a bunch of jokes.
And the reason why I think this show is long, our other shows are long, is because this isn't like a professional setting where you workshop a show and you really kind of try and, get the kinks out. There are a lot of things that could be cut from the show if you let's say, it wasn't a copyrighted issue, and let's say we took it to some professional theater somewhere. We would have to workshop it, and it would be cut, and it would probably be more around the area of two hours.
2 hours.
2 hours tops.
Is what we want. We wanted the show to be 2 hours long. But the thing was that we never ran through the whole thing until opening night.
Our first run. Oh my God. Do you guys do theater? Do you know how it works?
Me and Becca dance, so we do.
Oh, okay.
And I've done a little bit of theater before.
You get the rehearsal process. Regardless, you do perform art, so you know that it would be ridiculous to go through your entire, run through of all the choreography together on the opening night, which is what we did.
Yeah.
It's what we did with our last play too.
Yeah, we're just terrible at doing things.
I don't think I read the script until after the
Darren
show.
never read the script.
Yeah.
He never read the script. No, he read the script. The thing about Darren is Darren likes to say that he never read the script.
I do.
And Darren loves to say that he made up all
of
his
do
lines.
Not.
But the thing was that we wrote all of his lines.
You did write all the lines. I'm totally kidding.
No. What's that?
So they were mostly improv? Most of the lines?
Okay. See, not most of the lines were
not
improv.
Most. There's some lines.
There are some lines that were improv, and there were lines that were paraphrased a lot. Like, people didn't know their lines exactly, so, like, Dumbledore doesn't make sense a lot of the time because he was paraphrasing all of his lines.
Yeah.
And Darren paraphrased a lot of his lines. And
Oops.
Bonnie, the girl who plays Hermione, got so mad at Darren.
Oh.
So mad at
Bonnie
him
hates me.
because he didn't know his lines, like, the day before the show. And Bonnie would, like, there would be scenes where Hermione is, like, yelling at Harry for not being prepared. And you just see that Bonnie was really getting mad at Darren. And I was like, it's okay. The only guy who doesn't need to know his lines is Darren. It's fine, because Harry just kind of reacts to what other people are doing throughout the entire play. Like, you need to know his lines. Draco knows her lines. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And so the lines that got made up, I can go through it.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah,
The
Matt.
lines that people made up, like, on the night, when Goyle holds up the wreath, the Christmas wreath, and says, "Oh, Goyle rules." Jim Fulton, who plays Goyle, made that up on the night.
Do you guys know what that's in reference to? Do we know
Yeah.
what that's?
What was he supposed to say, do you know?
He wasn't supposed to say anything. He was just supposed to say. But Jim, like, loves to add things in to, like, undermine the show, like,
As much as possible.
but it always ends up working.
Like,
Like,
it's hilarious.
he's
It's so
he's
funny.
just the funniest guy. Like, he comes up with the funniest things to say. But in rehearsal, he loved to just ruin scenes.
Yeah, he would always like end
Yeah.
the show.
He
by-
would, yeah, to where, you know, when in the very beginning and going back to Hogwarts, when he does the Indian burn hex.
Yeah.
That's like the line that we wrote, the Indian burn hex. But in rehearsal, he kept on pointing his wand at Neville and going, Crucio. And we were like, no, you can't
Can't
do
do
that.
that. Can't do that.
And then Darren would come in and say, hey, stop picking on Neville. And he'd go, Avada Kedavra.
Cut it out,
Jim,
Jim.
stop.
The show just began. You can't kill me.
You can't kill Harry at the beginning. But,
Jim's great.
yeah, so Jim made up O'Goyle rules.
And that goes for the other nights too. Like, I remember, because every night is different, there were so many lines that, scenes and situations that would start improv. Joey would always go off on things. There's always lines, and Voldemort would go on and do his monologue differently every night.
Yeah,
and there was always something different.
Yeah,
so.
Joe Walker likes to take forever to say all of his lines, so that's why, like, all the Voldemort and Quirrell scenes are like 2 pages in the script, but they take 10 minutes to do because Joe Walker just takes so long to say all of his lines. And, the monologue at the end where he's like, you think killing people will make them like you, but it doesn't. It just makes them dead. Like, he would just improv that speech every single
Every
time.
night, yeah.
And that, like, version of the speech didn't happen until, like, the time that we filmed it. So, like, the first time he ever says you think killing people will make them like you, but it doesn't, it just makes them dead. It was that time that he did it in the script. So or in the actual play. So, and Joe Walker and Matt Lang, I think they were joking around backstage and they came up with that. So he did it that night. And I'm so glad that he did it because it's the funniest.
It's like
line. That the show was different every time we did it, but the one that people know is the one that was on the YouTube.